Today we are going to look at a brand new ad format that YouTube is rolling out across mobile that most likely won't earn any of us any additional cash. We'll talk about that, as well as some new integration that's happening between YouTube Live and Google Hangouts On Air, and some of the implications that has for us as creators. Some big stuff coming up right after this. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and it's Tuesday. Time to look at some online video news from last week and talk about the implications it has for us as creators. But before we jump into all that, a couple things. One, in case you missed it, last week I released an unlisted playlist here on YouTube. There's 30 videos that I have not published, and I am making them available to you guys either by clicking right here or there's a link in the description text below. Basically what happened is I am generating more content than I have slots for on this channel, and so I decided to just put them all into an unlisted playlist and then just give access to you guys for $2.99, less than a cup of coffee, so you guys can just support me and help me out with the stuff I'm trying to do here. Also, speaking of the number 30, I'm getting very close to finishing my workbook, 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. And guys, I'm not just saying this because I'm writing this, but I really do think this is one of the best, most practical resources I've seen for YouTube creators, like maybe ever. I see so many creators making the same mistakes over and over and over again, and it's costing them views and it's costing them subscribers, and in some cases it's costing them opportunities and the ability to establish trust and build relationships with their viewers. And so in this workbook, I'm just giving you guys a very practical step-by-step guide, like do this, do that, do this. You do one every day for 30 days and you will probably have, across all of YouTube, maybe one of the top 98 percentile channels that are optimized for converting viewers into subscribers, and then those subscribers into an engaged audience. And so that resource is coming out soon. First, to those who are Video Creators Insiders, which means you're basically on my free email list where I send out almost weekly email updates with exclusive content and other things for you guys. And people on that list will get access to this workbook first, along with a couple additional perks and things that will be made only available to that list for free. And so if you're not on that list, I highly recommend that you do so. There's a link in the description text below this video where you can click sign up, and in doing so, you'll also get a free copy of my ebook, The Secret to Building Your YouTube Audience, as a thank you from me for signing up. Okay, so now let's get into the YouTube news from last week. First of all, there's a new ad format that was discovered by someone on their mobile device. They're just looking at their app, looking at the what to watch list, and at the top, they saw an ad, clear as day. It was labeled with like a little blue button or something that kind of indicated like, hey, this is a 30-second ad. It makes sense that YouTube would do this now since 40% of their views come from mobile devices. And it also makes sense that YouTube would place such ads at the top of the what to watch playlist. The first video that you get to watch, if you would like to, is an ad that is presumably targeted towards you. The thing is, I don't see how us as creators are actually going to benefit from this. Yeah, it makes sense for YouTube, perfect placement, the whole thing just, yeah, it makes sense. But for us, like, if anything, it just kind of pushes our content down a little bit further on the what to watch list, which has always been the case even in Google search results. Whenever you search Google, you're used to seeing like a big ad block at the very top of the results. There are sponsored links as well as down the side. So this move doesn't necessarily seem new. And it's also one that anyone who's ever tried to rank in Google search results have already experienced, you know, being bumped down a little bit by the paid stuff. But still, I would just kind of like to see YouTube working on stuff that actually benefits its creator community as well as itself. I mean, I have no problem with this. It's just kind of like to see more effort put into benefiting and helping support us as well, right? Also last week, YouTube announced kind of behind the scenes a new feature that's rolling out to Google Hangouts On Air as well to YouTube Live. And basically the two are kind of coming together, which means that going forward, you can now go into the live section of your YouTube channel manager and there schedule live events that are happening later. You know, and typically this section has been reserved for people who are using all their own streaming and encoding equipment. And they've got multiple camera angles. They're doing this high professional show. But now Google Hangouts On Air are also coming into this space, which means you can also use this section to schedule a Google Hangout On Air for, I don't know, really far in advance, which means you reserve your YouTube URL for that Hangout On Air, and then people who actually see it before it goes live has like a nice little countdown right there on the video for you saying like, hey, this event starts in 3 days, 22 hours, and 50 seconds. Now, they do say that these new features are rolling out very slowly, and that means it hasn't yet come to my channel, so I can't actually show you what these things look like. But one of the things that they say should be there also is a button to just go live now. If you just want to go do a Google Hangout On Air right now, it's not scheduled, just impromptu, just go for it. There'll be a button there that lets you do that. You'll also be able to monetize your Google Hangouts On Air from the very beginning, meaning that before someone actually starts streaming and watching what you're doing live, they first have to watch a pre-roll ad. Also, for viewers who are watching watching a Google Plus Hangout on Air, if you go through this system, it will show at the bottom of the video how many people are currently watching that video at that time with you. And one of the most interesting new features is that now they have private and unlisted Hangouts on Air. Now, why would you want a private Hangout on Air? Like, why don't you just do a Hangout? Well, there's a couple reasons for this. One, maybe if you're doing like a business type stuff and you just want people who have signed up for your email list to be able to watch your Hangout on Air. Or maybe you just want to have a Hangout with only your YouTube top fans. Well, now you can do a private Hangout on Air and share that Hangout just with that circle. Or maybe instead of using like traditional webinar type of software, now you can just say, hey, pay me through this system and then I will send you the link to where you can see me hang out live. And I mean, the advantage that the Google Plus Hangout have over the top of like a webinar system is that like webinars are just like screen sharing, and if they have videos like a little corner, like this actually puts the presenter and the person front and center. And there's also plenty of tools for like sharing your screens and your PowerPoint presentations and things like that. So I don't know, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. How would you potentially use private and unlisted Hangouts on Air with your audience? The other cool thing that's coming is that you can now monitor real-time live analytics about your Hangout on Air while it's actually happening, like live, not like wait to go back to a couple days later and see what YouTube Analytics is finally refreshed about the data for your event. If you want to learn more about this, I'll put a link in the description below that will lead you to the official post about this update and give you kind of a comparison breakdown feature by feature between YouTube Live and Google Plus Hangouts on Air. Now that they're both kind of integrating into the system, there's some differences, but also some cool stuff there. So go check that out if you're interested in that. 3 quick links for you guys down there. The first one is now YouTube is officially coming out and saying, do not buy views. Like these people say, hey, we'll give you 10,000 views for $10. I already talked about it extensively right here about why that is and the dangers and the results that it has on your channel and like just how bad of an idea that is. Don't even do it, and more about that here. But in this post from YouTube, they're taking an official stance saying if you do buy views and start messing with their system like this, it could cost you your account. You could get community guideline strikes. A lot of bad things could happen. So just don't do it. Another great post down there that I want to recommend that you guys check out is from mods.com. They're talking more about stop thinking about your videos and your SEO strategy in terms of keywords, but think about them in terms of topics. We've already talked about this at length in other previous videos, so I'm not going to go into it too much here. I just wanted to point out this link for those of you guys who are still struggling with this idea of not thinking about your videos in terms of keywords anymore, but now thinking about them in terms of topics and trying to optimize them to rank for the user's intent of what they're searching for, rather than the actual words that they use in their search query. So more about that in the link below. And finally, for you guys who are musicians here on YouTube, there's a link down there about how TuneCore is teaming up with the YouTube MCN so that any music you are selling through their service, either through iTunes or Amazon MP3 or Google Play or Spotify, whatever the case may be, like that track is now automatically listed into YouTube's Content ID system, and that if someone takes your music and uses it in their video, you now get 90% of the revenue from that video. So if you're looking for a really simple, easy, streamlined way to do all this, you might want to check that out. And guys, if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every Tuesday, we take a look at online video news like this and talk about the implications it has for us as creators here in this space. On Wednesdays, we give you guys some YouTube tips and ideas, suggestions, advice. And then on Thursdays, we do YouTube Q&A just to help you guys out, because I really believe that a lot of you guys have messages that could really change the world and influence people's lives for the better if those people could just find and hear what you have to say. So thank you for letting me be a part of helping you guys grow your channels and make those connections. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.